Hi, everybody. It's Tori from Enchanted. Hope everyone is doing really well this evening. So much has been going on. I just wanted to pop on and give everybody some updates and what to expect that's coming up. Where do I begin? Where do I begin? Where do I begin? First of all, when you are reviewing this video, please do hashtag replay. That just helps me, know how far the video has gone. And it also, if you comment and like and share, it also helps with our algorithms. So please help us out with that. Remember to hit the bell, and that will alert you when any new YouTube videos come out as well. So I am here today to kind of, like I said, give you guys an update on some things, as well as do the Ascended Illuminations reading. So this is going to be for, well, I'm going to do it for this evening, Thursday, the 29th through Wednesday, June 4th. So, and I've pulled some cards, oracle cards, which I've already posted up for you to be able to see, and you can pick whichever card you feel most attracted to. This is one. This is Sacred Purpose, Ptah, Nut, Geb, and Anubis. Okay. This is actually the Anubis Oracle that was done by Nikki Scully and Linda Starr Wolf. It's a beautiful deck, and I do enjoy using it. Bear with me. When I start talking, my lips start drying out. So, what else? This is 2, Bast, Holy Longing, Desire, Instinct, and Sensuality. Okay, it's 2. And 3 is Right Timing and Direction, Sothus, Khonsu, and Amun-Ra. So for those of you that participated in our Egyptian Zoom series, you may remember Khonsu is actually the baboon, and he is the god of the moon. Amun-Ra is the god of the sun, and Sothus is a star god. So very interesting. Right timing and right direction. And this evening, I'm actually using a deck that I haven't used in a very long time. Oh, actually, I take it back. I may not have used it. I opened it and then kind of put it to one side. This is the Byzantine Tarot from Wisdom from Ancient Empire. That's just Charlie. So it's Byzantine Empire. And it is from John Matthews and Scylla Conway. And the illustrations on it are absolutely beautiful. So I am going to go ahead and just start off by talking a little bit about the first card, this first one, okay? Like I said, it's Ptah, who is the husband of Sekhmet, Nut, Geb, and Anubis. Sacred Purposes. This deck is interesting because it uses regular numbers, and then it also uses Roman numerals. And this is one of those Roman numeral numbers that that is coming up. So I have to put my glasses on in order to see. I was hoping not to have to do that, but that's not happening. All right, so this card. All right. Ptah speaks from his intelligent heart, and reality is created. Anubis, the fully awakened shaman priest, enters the sacred garden through the portal created by the divine parents and the overarching sky god, sky goddess Nut, and the rich, green, and fertile earth god Geb. Thoth is also present as the rainbow serpent who offers the fruit of wisdom and eternal life from the ancient tree. As you focus on the images in this card, perceive that your life situations will, with open-hearted wisdom, so that what is being birthed were created through your thoughts, words, and activities, and everyday stories have the greatest potential for completion and wholeness. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and give a shuffle. We're going to start off with one. I'll show you the cards so you can kind of see what I mean. They're really super pretty. Hold on one sec. For some reason, I have done something goofy with them. So let me just make sure they're all going in the right direction. I feel like they're not. Okay, that's where it is. That's where that came in. I think I got them right now. It was a shuffling error. So while I'm just zipping through this, I'm just going to kind of chatter on about some things. I'm kind of excited to announce that the very first crystal singing bowl sound bath that I'm doing at A Touch of Magic sold out. That's going to be this Saturday. We're looking to also add some more dates. And I've also just added a date of June 21st for a summer solstice sound bowl, crystal sound healing sound bath here in Jamestown in the bubble tent. Which is nice because you have views of up Narragansett Bay, you have views of the Newport Bridge, and it's illuminated at night, which is really pretty. And there's all sorts of little twinkle lights in and around the bubble tent. So it's kind of cool. So we only have seating for 6 because it's such a small space. Granted, it's a 12-foot by 12-foot bubble tent, but we're limited. So if there's something that if you're interested in purchasing a ticket for that particular date on the 21st from 7 to 8:30, please hop over to what is it called? Eventbrite. Yeah, Eventbrite, and purchase your ticket. Because when it's gone, it's gone. So let's take a look at the first one. So we got, this is called the Count of Swords. So this would be probably the King of Swords. We got the Wheel. Like I said, Byzantine is kind of an interesting art. Behind us, we have the Two of Pentacles. Beneath us is the Count of Staffs. Above us is the Star. That's pretty. And that's also on the back side of the card, kind of. So. In front of us is the Ten of Cups. And beneath that is Magnus, which would be the Hermit. And then we also have the Ace of Pentacles in the family. We have Judgment. Oh, this is kind of an interesting Judgment card. That's an emotional. Page of Swords. Okay, kind of self-explanatory. 5 of Coins. Not my favorite card. And I'm going to pull one more. And 7 of Cups. Okay. So let's see what we got going on. If you chose Sacred Purposes, this is your reading number 1. Okay. So to me, this is basically saying that there's some change coming in, and it's all dependent upon how you really kind of look at how things are going. You know, definitely you need to be hopeful. Definitely you need to allow for things to come in and manifest to come in. There's a lot of new opportunities and growth which is always wonderful. But we have some things that we do want to be kind of careful of. And what I mean by that is the Page of Swords, the Five of Pentacles. So you may find that next week is kind of busy. You may find that next week you're juggling more than you should be juggling. Okay. So to me, this is saying that the week is going to go well. There are going to be some things that you're definitely going to want to make sure that you are really taking control of and you're really staying in balance of. Because if you allow yourself to get out of the balance that's needed, then you're going to find that you're going to be, I don't want to say on the losing end, but I do feel it's going to be a lot tougher. And I do feel like there's more that potentially could be dumped on you. I pulled another card and I got the Fool. Now this is an interesting one. It's not the jovial one of, starting a journey, but in the same token, it is a new beginning. Four of staffs, so to me, what I'm called to on this one is, working with what you have, allowing things to come to fruition, and knowing that you have a lot more to be thankful for than you may think you have. Okay. So that's kind of where I'm seeing with that. I feel like next week is going to be a little bit of an up and down type of thing. I'm not quite sure when the next full moon is, and I'm kind of looking up at my calendar to see if it will tell me. No, it doesn't tell me. It tells me everything but, which aggravates me. Oh, full moon is June 11th. Okay. So I would say probably this is a time when things are working through some of our processes. But one of the things that I do want to point out with this particular card, with this particular reading, number one, with the Page of Swords, there's a lot of fire behind him. So this to me is saying that, you have a lot of responsibility, and certainly swords are very, very intellectual. They also swords are also airy. But what I mean by this is that there's just, don't rush into things. But also don't look at things so negatively where you're kind of almost throwing things completely out of proportion. And I feel that potentially could be something that happens, to me, with the Five of Pentacles and the Seven of Cups coming in, those are almost like warnings, where if we don't necessarily buckle down and kind of get our what together, then that's where we're going to be out of balance and we're going to make maybe not the best decisions. Okay. So that's kind of where I feel with that. So sacred purpose. So to me, this is really figuring out what it is that you want, what it is that your purpose is, your direction is, where are you going with things? You're off on a whole new adventure, and you've been given the permission, you've been given the opportunity to go off in this new direction. So take time to give yourself the opportunity to really kind of explore this. But I also wouldn't necessarily kind of just don't fall for knee-jerk reactions is what I'm attempting to say. Okay. But one of the things that really to me says things will go well with the Four of Staffs. I mean, these guys look like they're preparing for a party. They're preparing for a feast, they're gathering their abundance. So there's a lot that you have to be thankful for. There's a lot that you have in abundance, and you do have it to share with people, situations to share with people. But again, it's making sure that you're keeping your eyes on things on the horizon, and you are not necessarily going in a direction of negative talk. Okay, so that's kind of where we are with that one for the first one. All right, let's take a look at the second one, which is, like I said, it's Bast. Let me just pick up the cards before I start to shuffle. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Didn't mean to do that. Nope, didn't mean to do that either. There we go. I hit the wrong button. Sorry. Again, this is Bast. Some people call her Bastet. So if you like to work with Maiden Mother Crone energy, she would be the maiden. Sekhmet would be the Hathor would be the mother, and Sekhmet would be the crone. So let's see where we come in with Bast energy. She's also all about holy longing, desire, instinct, sensuality. She's all about making sure that you're using the divine feminine is kind of what I'm hearing. It focuses on the sensual cat and compelling desire to be born into a form, into the realm of formlessness. And what that means is, with some of the creation stories of ancient Egypt, things were kind of like a primordial ooze, and it took time for things to form. But it focuses on what it is that you want, what it is that you really desire. There definitely is a need for courage. There definitely is a need to, with the sensuality, you also run into the fertility, you run into the new ideas, new opportunities, new beginnings. Again, it comes down to what it is that you want, what it is that you desire. Is it a who? Is it a what? Is it a where? Things like that. So it really focuses on the act of creation and rebirth. And basically, she's showing up as a guide or a guardian to lead you to your heart's desires. And she wants you to pay close attention to what you are now birthing into the world this week. And she'll help you see and hold the higher dedication and commitment underlying what you want most to desire. Additionally, consider how cats are self-confident, self-contained, and how they reflect for us a strong example of self-love and self-care. If Bast appears in your reading, make sure that you take time to settle in and pamper yourself because you deserve it. And I agree with that. This is a moment of really figuring out what it is that you want, what it is that you want out of life, what it is that you want out of this relationship, out of this job. What are you creating? You have the ability to create some beautiful and magical things, but sometimes we get a little bogged down with not knowing all the details. So in that situation, it's kind of like, go with, don't just settle. Go for what it is that you want. Because that's going to be really important, and that is going to help dictate what comes in. Okay. One card flipped over, so I'm going to keep that. Let me just do a quick shuffle on this. These cards are a little bigger than I like. They're a little longer than I like. I feel like I'm such a card snob, and I don't mean to sound that way. So let's see what Bast has to say. So, okay, right out of the gate, we have the 5 of coins. So we do have some loss. And crossing us is the 3 of swords, so there is some heartache. Behind us, it's the 10 of swords. I'd rather have this behind us than in front of us. Beneath us is the 7 of staffs, 7 of wands. Above us is the 9 of swords. Okay. In front of us, we got the 10 of staffs. We also have the 4 of swords. In the emotional, we have the devil. And for, I'm sorry, that was family. For emotional, we have Count of Staffs, for the King of Wands. And then for outcome, we have the Eight of Staffs. No one's winning. Ace of Swords. Interesting that the swords are coming up with all sorts of fire. And then we also have the Page of Wands. So let's see what we got going on here. If you chose two, fast, this is your reading, okay? The card that fell out is the Fool, New Beginnings. I'm going to pull another card, Ace of Coins. And I'm going to pull another card, the Tower. And then one more card, the Count of Cups. All right. So to me, this says there's definitely been some sort of shakeup. There's definitely been something that has happened that has caused you to, maybe it's a relationship situation, or maybe you haven't been taking on the responsibility of what you want to bring in. And because of that, the universe is saying, okay, we're going to take this away. And with that being said, it's definitely kind of puts you into a tailspin on things. It's definitely really, it weighs heavily, heavily on your mind. This week, you're going to find that there's a lot of stuff that you're going to kind of rehash and go through and go over. About some of the things that have happened maybe last week or even the previous weeks. Okay. So this is going to be something that you need to kind of really take a mental note on. All right. You may find that there are times when we have to agree to disagree on things. You may find that there's a time when there are situations where nobody wins and there's a need to walk away. Okay. But this is really interesting because there's been a lot of work put in. You've put a lot of time and effort and attention into something, and it's not come up the way that you wanted it to. You're really, really stressed about it. You're overthinking it, and it's definitely weighing very heavily, and it's causing you to not let go of what you know you need to let go of. All right. Because if we have the 10 of Swords and the 3 of Swords and the 5 of Pentacles, all kind of within also the 9 of Swords, all within the same kind of vicinity, that's like, okay, there's a lot of chaos. There's a lot of stuff that we definitely need to let go of. We definitely need to cut some cords, and we know we need to do it, but we have to do it. Okay. A lot of this stuff has already been put into action or has already been put into motion. And now it's allowing you to kind of get to the other side of what happened and start to try and work on rebuilding anew. All right. There are going to be some things that are going to really require you to kind of take the bull by the horns and really, you're going to have a lot going on. But you also have to really be careful that you're not overdoing, okay? With the 4 of Swords, this is a respite card. So to me, this is saying what went down, you need to take some time for yourself. Remember when it said it with Bast in terms of self-care, self-love? This is kind of where this is coming into place, okay? So the self-love, the self-care, knowing that what you've gone through, you need some downtime to process. You need some downtime in order to figure out next steps and where to go from here, So this is going to be a week that is going to be a trying week. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, okay? You may find that there's some family that maybe just are either stuck in their own ways, or they are not necessarily thinking of the best for you. And it's not like it's um the Eight of Pentacles, where I'm sorry, the Eight of Swords, which I usually call the sneaky bastard. But with the Devil, it's can't get out of your own way, stuck in a rut. So to me, this is almost like you may find that there are people in your corner who, for whatever reason, either are choosing not to help you work through some of this, or they just don't know how. Okay. So you may have to, at some point in time, kind of not rely on them. Okay. Knight of Cups. Okay. This is good. This is actually things that are coming in order to kind of help you get in touch with your emotions, in terms of getting in touch with the different feelings and the I'm going to say emotional fallout that is showing from what happened or what is happening right now. So to me, this is who's there in your corner may not necessarily be as receptive to what you're doing, um, or they're wrapped up in their own business, but there is somebody that is there to assist you, okay? That is there to kind of help guide you. Oh, look, the Sun card. This is a beautiful card. You know, I love this card actually. So choose who you connect with this week, especially about who you talk about this situation with. With the Count of Swords, sorry, staffs, that would be technically the King of Wands. It is interesting that wands are fiery, and there's a lot of fire here. So what I'm going to say is there may be some things that you have to kind of really think creatively, and you really focus on putting yourself first. Okay. Um, Many times with the King of Wands, they can be a little bit flaky. They can be a little bit all over the place. They can also be super creative, but they don't necessarily think about the big picture of things. So to me, this is saying that you may find that you may just kind of need to kind of focus on yourself and focus on what your wants and needs are. Five of Swords. All right. So this is interesting. You know, we definitely need to strike that balance again, as I keep saying. You may find that with what went down, that there is going to be a need to really kind of establish a truce on what's going on. And, you know, I usually kind of view the Eight of Wands as, you know, just a lot going on. But I feel like you have a lot more truth, and you have a lot more um forcefulness on your side to kind of help guide you through things. And you also have a need to really touch with your emotions, because if you've been kind of on autopilot going through a lot of this stuff, maybe you've kind of checked your emotions to the side, or maybe you're running fully on emotion. And if you're running fully on emotion, you know, then this is going to be one of those things where um you definitely are going to want to really trust those emotions. If you tend to run on emotions and not necessarily, you know, you think with your heart necessarily with your head, then you may find that you may need to kind of pull things back a little bit. Okay. But to me, this is really a huge focus of saying there are things that you need to focus on within your own realm, within your own bubble, to allow you to be able to let go of what happened or what is happening, and focus on what your new beginnings are, your new opportunities are. It's going to look different. It's going to feel different. But in the same token, you're going to find that you may feel like there's been a lot of chaos that has kind of come in and just kind of shaken everything up, which to some degree means that you just are fearful that you're not necessarily figuring out what end is up. Trying to get your bearings, I guess it would be the best way to describe it. But you need this shakeup in order to clear out what's not working. Okay. clear out what's not working, and focus on what it is that you want, what you need, what you are trying to bring in and create, and go from there. Okay. So let's see. I mentioned that the Touch of Magic sound bath is sold out. I mentioned that the sound bath I just put it up on Eventbrite. The sound bath for June 21st. It's the summer solstice here in Jamestown at the Gypsy Tent. And I'm also going to be reading on June 6th, and that's going to be a really fun event. It's actually called Mysteries of the Night. And it is a psychic fair and also artisan fair. It's actually at the there goes another card. It's at the Edward King House in Newport on 35 King Street. And it's from 5 to 9. Admission is $5, and there's going to be only a few readers. I believe there's only going to be 6 different readers, doing lots of different things from astrology, mediumship, you name it. We also have people that are going to be doing maybe some energy healing, some crystal sales, some really beautiful, beautiful artisan work as well. So definitely worth checking out. I think it's going to be a fun night, and it's an interesting building because the Edward King House is actually one of the oldest mansions in Newport. So there's a lot of activity in there, and I'm anxious to see what comes up and be able to read that. What else? I'm also reading in Uxbridge at A Touch of Magic on June 14th all day. We are tentatively scheduled for table tipping on the 17th in Uxbridge as well at A Touch of Magic. I believe that is up on their website. And we're also now taking parties for June and July and August, believe it or not. I know that sounds weird, but one of those things where you're better off planning ahead. Tarot parties, table tipping parties, you name it. What else? I am available for some Fridays in June. With the way that my work schedule has been, I'm actually taking off Fridays in June, and will be available for readings, energy work, and so on. So we're also still in the process of working on the new studio space. That is still a work in progress and is taking longer than I had anticipated, and it's also taking longer than Mark has anticipated as well. So my apologies on that being a little bit longer, but we will get that up and running. And as soon as I get it to a place where I feel I want to start to share pictures of the space, I will, so you can see what to expect within this new studio space. I'm looking forward to it. It's actually here located in my home here in Jamestown. And it's going to be really good. It's going to give me the opportunity to be able to do more for people. It's also going to give me the opportunity to be able to also use the pyramid, the copper pyramid. So I'm really excited about that. So the third card, like I said, right timing and direction. And this is Sothis, Khonsu, and Amun-Ra. Okay. Let's see what is said in the book. And I'll go ahead and pull some cards. All right. So this is, like I said, the shining star Sothis generously pours her gifts upon our planet, and Khonsu, the moon god, travels the sky, reflecting for us faces and phases of our divinity, and Amun-Ra, the radiance of the sun's all-seeing eye, transfigures ourselves and our creations into alchemical gold of enlightened beings. So if you've chosen this card, focus on the images of the star and the sun and the moon, and notice how the combined energies of these Naturu infuse your daily life experiences with their potent gifts and powers. With their attributes brought to the forefront of your consciousness, you will see clearly how, when, where, etc. And you'll find yourself moving forward appropriately in your personal world and how actions reflect on our planet. So that's good. It's actually, to me, it's kind of shedding light on things. It's shedding light on our direction. It's shedding light on our timing of things that are coming around. So I think that's good. So let's see what we got for this particular one. Judgment. Kind of an interesting judgment, isn't it? We have the Ten of Cups crossing us. That's good. We have the Knight of Swords behind us. Here he is charging in. We have the Two of Staffs beneath us. We have the Page of Swords above us. We have the Countess of Staffs. So this would be the Queen of Wands. Yeah, Wands. Okay. Ace of Cups. Well, that's pretty. I like that. That's really pretty. Family. Eight of Cups. Walking away. So our personal and emotional is fortitude. Temperance, basically. Five of Cups. Ooh, the Moon. And one more card. Eight of Coins. All right. And there was one card that flew out. And it was the Count of Cups. So the King of Cups. All right. Let's see what we got here. With the fact that we have Sothis and Khonsu and Amun-Ra saying focus on our journey, focus on our enlightened path, focus on our right timing and the right direction. There may be some things that you've made some decisions on, and your happiness is at stake, you know? To me, there are going to be some decisions that are going to come up that may kind of, or some pieces of information that may cause us to make some decisions, is what I'm trying to say. And I feel like with the fact that we have the Queen of Wands, you know, she's someone that definitely has a lot going on. It's kind of, she always has the crazy eye in the usual deck, which always just cracks me up. But she also has a very much of a magical side. I pull another card. Okay, we got the Lovers. So we got the relationships. So if this is something that focuses on right timing and direction with relationships, this is telling me that you know, there have been some things that you've been trying to really work through, and you've been trying to kind of come into a new beginning, you know. It's really focusing. Maybe if the universe has been telling you, hey, right time is now, right direction is now. Maybe we haven't been listening. And if that's the case, then, you know, so the universe is only going to stay and push us for so long before they decide to make their own decisions, you know. Family has the Eight of Cups, which is, I usually call it the screw it, I'm out of here card, or walking away. So you may find that there are things that you move away from. Page of Cups. This is interesting. And with this particular deck, to me, this page looks like he's in motion. You know, he's in motion. So there is a need for moving through things. There is a need for I'm hearing picking a side. Pick a side, focus on it, put the work into it. With the emotional stuff that we got going on, fortitude, like I said, this is temperance. Temperance is all about patience. Temperance is all about balance. You know, we're going to find that not everything is created and done exactly how we want it when we want it, right? So there are going to be some things where the universe may kind of throw you some curveballs this week. But this is a reminder that we do need to make sure that we are keeping that in mind, okay? We're not seeing the whole picture on things. And I kind of feel sometimes the universe does that to us because the universe doesn't want us getting too far ahead of what's going on. You know, we may be thinking way down the road and focusing on something way down the road instead of focusing on something that's going on now or is about to happen. So to me, this is focus on the now, focus on the immediate. There are going to be some things that you may find that are going to be kind of, I don't want to say guarded, but hidden from view. And it's not necessarily going to be exactly the direction that you want. But with the 5 of Cups, you know, it's interesting because with the 5 of Cups, it's like he has 3 cups on the ground that have spilled over, focusing on what happened, what went down. But he's perfectly good cups that he's not paying attention to. So to me is live in the now, don't live in the past. You're going to be pleasantly surprised, I feel. The 8 of Coins, do your work. You know, this guy is starting at the bottom and is working his way up. He's patient. He's doing his job. He's keeping his nose to the grindstone. He's going through things the correct way. And he is finding that this is what is starting to develop the right timing, the right direction, etc. He's putting the work in order to allow it to come to fruition. So to me, this is also a lot of don't cut corners. Don't cut corners. Even though you may feel like you want to, don't cut corners. Do it the right way. Stay in balance. Stay focused. Be patient and be grounded. I'm gonna pull one more card. The Countess of Swords, so the Queen of Swords. You know, to me, this may very well be that there's somebody that is in your immediate either family or around you that maybe is saying, hey, you need to kind of start to move forward from whatever's been going on. Or it could very well be that you find yourself moving away from difficult family members or difficult members within your circle. Queen of Swords is difficult because she has a lot of baggage. She has a lot of wounds. She's the first person to kind of get in your business and micromanage things. But you also got to remember she's coming from a place of she's had wounds in the past that she has not healed. So it could very well be maybe a parent that's saying you should do things differently, or they're being obstinate about certain things. But my point is, you may find that you have to take a step away so you're able to work on your own stuff and your own timing and your own direction, and to follow your true north, follow your true compass, follow your light, follow your direction, and things will show. I mean, we use the North Star for guidance, right? We got the moon, we use the sun. So this makes a lot of sense. It has to do to, in my mind, to really kind of believing in yourself and believing in your true and finding your true north and allowing things to happen at the right time and taking advantage of the things that come about at the right time. Not necessarily thinking of things as a knee-jerk reaction, but also not overthinking things. Knowing when we need to let go in order to be able to bring in new stuff. You know, count of cups or the king of cups. This is somebody that kind of goes with the flow. To me, this is also saying be more like that in terms of going with the flow, to allow you to focus on the timing and the direction of things. I pull one more card, I get the Ace of Swords. Ooh, intellectual, airy. So maybe there's some things coming in business-wise, but it's definitely really, really interesting. You know, maybe there's some things that are coming to fruition for you, whether it be starting a business or ending a business. Maybe it is about personal relationships, you know, and focusing on what it is that you need and what you want in your timing. You know, it's kind of interesting because we have 2 and 3, you know, Bast is focusing on self-love, self-care, self-worth. And we have number 3, right time and right direction, is allowing ourselves to take our cues and to follow our true north and to follow our star and to allow ourselves to go in the direction that we know we need to go in, and be patient. But there's good stuff coming in. There's good stuff coming in. So I hope that helps. Stay on the lookout, like I said, for some more events that are going to be dropping in the bubble tent. I plan on scheduling a table tipping in the bubble tent. I plan on scheduling a probably either a cacao ceremony or a Blue Lotus tea ceremony, which will also be a meditative type of event. What else? Readings, healings. If people are interested in working with the pyramid experiences, those are available now too. With the tent, everything right now is weather dependent. But it's really beautiful when the weather is great and cooperating. It's really beautiful and it's a beautiful experience. I'll keep you appraised of what's going on with the studio in the house. I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens and see how things turn out. And I promise that I will share some things with you coming up. I think that is it. I hope you have a good week. I hope you have, as we're steering out of May into June, we're kind of shifting gears a little bit here. And I hope you have a great kickoff to the summer. I'm always here for guidance, whether it be online or also in person. We can do both. There is a new program that I'm going to be rolling out as well. This is a mentorship program, which I'm really excited about. And I think that is going to be something that focuses very heavily on bringing in the divine feminine and allowing ourselves to really focus on that energy. So that's going to be some things that are also going to be dropping very, very shortly. So take care, everyone. Bye.